if you don't do the work, you're not going to be successful. I have vendors that ask me all the time, the real estate industry is slow. So why are you so busy? Why are you everywhere? Why do I see you at every event? Why does everybody know who you are? When it's slow, then you have to do twice as much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a good one for you today. We'll call it a blast from the past. As an entrepreneur, you go through cycles, right? You go through chapters of your life. You meet people. Some of those people stick, and some people don't. But one thing I know, as I always talk about being on the show, is that everyone you meet, anywhere in the world, walking down the street, they all have a current, which is where you're meeting them. They've got a past, right? Everybody has a past. And just like you and me, they have a future that they don't know yet. And we don't know where our future is going to take us. We don't know who we are going to become. We don't know who we're going to meet, who we're going to talk to, not talk to, all those things. I am very fortunate to have a good friend of mine, Kevin Davidson, on today. And Kevin and I have a history. We've got a past. We have a current right now. And I would bet money that we probably have a future. So Kevin, first of all, thanks for being on, man. Good to see you.
Of course, I've been looking forward to this for about 2 months.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope I can deliver. So just for the audience, tell everybody kind of what you do right now.
As far as my career goes,
Yep.
so I am the business development officer. That's my title for Stewart Title, the Sugarland and Richmond, Texas locations. And so basically, when someone buys real estate, it needs to be go through a title service, and that's what Stewart Title does.
Got it. Okay. And Kevin and I know each other. Kevin used to work for me back when I had my property management company. Back when we won an award for best marketing in North America, Kevin was the driver behind that, and something he can throw on his resume along with Better Business Bureau awards.
Somebody told me that you still have that award, though.
I do. I've got to get that to you. Actually, I got to get that to you. So Kevin, let's talk a little bit about, you're in the real estate world, right?
Mhm.
And obviously the real estate is, I don't know if fickled is the right word, but it's temperate. It's sensitive. I think sensitive is a good word.
Yeah.
I guess let's just start with, what are you seeing out there right now in the industry, in the real estate world?
Well, from my perspective, and that's pretty much only in the Fort Bend County area where both my offices are, things have picked up, and they're picking up even more. Both of my offices are busy. Both of my offices right now are exceeding their numbers. They're exceeding their projections. I have 5 escrow officers in 2 offices, and all 5 of them are busy. I'm seeing a lot of properties on the market. The days on market, the time it takes for them to actually sell, is a little bit longer than what most people would want. It's not what it was last year into the 90 and 120 days range. We're talking 60 to 90 range, but there's a lot of activity out there right now when there wasn't last year.
Now, like it, love it, or hate it, you've been in the real estate game for 10 years now, I guess, right? You've seen, you and I have seen some cycles.
Yeah.
What could you attribute the cyclical cycle? Is it human emotion? Is it really the interest rates, or is it the interest rate fear that's causing people to take action or not take action? Like, what's your take?
It's the fear, because all last year and a little bit before then, when interest rates were really high and then they started to come down, it didn't matter how much they come down, people would still say they're too high. And then someone like me would say, but wait a minute, when I bought my house in 2004, that's what I paid. So
Right.
7% is not high. They were used to and wanted to see the 3.75, 3.75% interest rate during COVID, and that was not reality. That was just something that happened. Is not probably going to happen again. So I do believe what you asked your statement. It's emotional. It's not the numbers because the numbers are good right now.
Yeah, I remember, there was people, we'd call them COVID baby investors, where they would get in the real estate game during COVID, and that bottom floor of 3% or whatever, they thought that was the real floor, and that was, we'll say it was a fake bottom floor. It wasn't the real
Mm-hmm.
floor. It was an illusion.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
everybody based their business models, they bought their properties on them being a genius, thinking that nothing can go wrong and this is the new norm. And I remember talking to people and I'm like, you realize this is a cycle. It will go away. And I specifically remember someone telling me, Steve, you don't understand. This is the new way. You have to get used to it. And I said, how long have you been doing real estate for? And he's like, 2 years, like 2 full years. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I said, I don't know where that guy is now. I'm guessing probably not in real estate is my
Yeah.
guess, but
Well,
um,
we would used to tell people that would say, "Hey, the interest rates are still too high," and I said, "Okay, then great. If they think they're still too high, then uh, date the rate, marry the house,
right.
still buy it, and then if they come down even more, like you think they're going to, then you can refinance if you think they're too high. But if you wait until they come down, then you go to get that house, and the house will be gone."
Got it. So let me ask you, you are very successful in what you do. You just won a President's Award for Stewart Title. Congratulations, by the way. Very coveted
Thank you.
award.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Let me ask you, if you didn't take this path, like if you and I, if our paths never crossed, because when you and I met, that was your foray into real estate with the property
Yes.
management company. If you didn't take that path, where would you be today? Like, who would I be talking to?
I would probably still be a marketing professional, but I would probably be in the automotive aftermarket industry because that's where I came from when I met you guys. I had when I met you, when you guys interviewed me and hired me, I had a few offers from within that industry from people that I knew, working with the company that I worked with for 9 years after I graduated college. So probably in the automotive aftermarket, selling car parts.
So, and I think it's important that people understand this is that you did a major shift from one industry into not even an adjoining industry, completely different. You had to learn the terminology, the acronyms, the nuances, all that stuff, softwares. To do that, one would say or could say that you had to learn and do a lot more things. And that there's truth to that. I'm going to ask a different question. What did you have to let go of to be open to learning these new things and become the person that you became working for me and the person you are today?
The fear of change and the fear of learning new things. Um, you and I've discussed a lot of these things before, but I can, I, I liken this to when you interviewed me and you guys had me take a disc profile assessment. And when I took that assessment, I had never taken one before, but it opened up my eyes to where I was when I was in college as a professional to where I ended up needing to be in order to be successful with you guys and going forward. I was never a public speaker. I was never an educator. I was never a people person. I was an introvert, off the chart C, leave me alone, don't bother me, I'll get it to you later kind of guy. And you and Pete changed that. Part of that was because that's who you already were. Okay. You were an off the chart D and I. P was a CS, so him and I were more personality wise alike, but you and I were basically joined at the hip for 5 years. So I had to learn how to do what you were doing.
Yeah.
And I did, surprisingly. At least I was surprised at how quickly I did it and how fast I did it. But yeah, I mean, I had to become, I had to become an influencer, so,
Yeah.
per se.
Now, when you think of success, is success today different than the success the day before I ever met you?
Definitely, for sure.
How
because,
so?
well, before you ever met me, I was working a assembly line job.
Mhm.
Every single day you go in, it was the exact same job, same day, you do the same thing over and over for 8 hours, punch in, go out, that's it. There's no goals, there's no successes, no wins, no failures, no nothing. You just do the exact same thing. When I came to work for you guys slapped me upside the head with KPIs and said, this is what we have to do, these are what we have to achieve, these are the numbers we got to get. And so it was every day was a challenge. It was not the same thing. It was not mundane. And it was also stressful because I'd never worked under that kind of situation before. I wouldn't call it negative pressure. It was just I can't instead of coming in every day and making sure that I didn't break something. I came in every day with the goal of getting at least three more leads or creating a new marketing program or meeting a new agent or whatever.
For people that are watching this, thinking, man, that could be me. Right? There's people that lose their jobs and you did it by choice, but not everybody changes careers by choice.
Mm-hmm.
What what did you have to shift in your mind to finally, because you flourished, right? You embraced it. You never said no. Maybe in your mind you were saying no, but you never said no. Like, what had to shift in your mind in order to fully embrace it?
Um, Probably the fact that I needed to learn something that I'd never had any experience with before. And the fact that I was given the opportunity to do that and take responsibility for a company's success was something I never had to do before. Okay. You you taught me, Pete taught me, we learned very quickly that no company's success doesn't start without marketing. Okay. And so with everything that happened at Empire Industries, it started with me, whether it was good or if it was bad, with me and my team, the marketing team. And I had never had that responsibility before. I'd always been a person that held a position in a company that followed a procedure. I was never given the opportunity and the responsibility to create it all myself, and hopefully it was successful. And it was. You and I created the whole marketing platform for the company. And when I got there, I had a marketing background. I'd done marketing for other companies, but I'd never done this. I'd never created from scratch a marketing platform for a company that didn't have one.
Would you advise that for someone else?
Not everybody,
Why?
because it takes a certain type of person to be able to do something like that. And I'll be honest with you.
You mean you've been lying this whole time I've known you?
No, but it's 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 a personality thing. You have to be able to adjust, bob and weave. You have to be able to take the wins, take the bad things, losses with the wins. Don't let them get you down. Not like I'm not saying it never got me down, but go home, cry about it, get up the next day, and go fight again. Because if you didn't, someone else was going to come in. And to be honest with you, I think you were a real strong reason why I was successful because you didn't accept failure. You didn't accept, you know, well, we didn't do that. Why didn't we do that? That's not a good enough excuse. Let's fix that. We can still do it. Or we talked about it last week. Why isn't that done yet? You know what I'm saying? You were
Or earlier
always
this morning, we just had this
exactly
meeting. Why isn't it done?
exactly. You were always pushing me, even though you didn't. I don't think you really thought you were. It was just the way you did things and your personality. And so I always, not only did I want to do a good job for myself, I didn't want to disappoint you.
Hmm. If you had not a client, an employee that you were bringing in, you were Steve. How would you handle? Would you want a Kevin or would you want someone who says, "I've been doing this 15 times a day every day and twice on Sundays. I got this dialed in. Like, what kind of person would you want underneath you based
I
on what
would,
we went through?
yeah, I would want another me, someone that came in that didn't know what they were, had a foundation for what you were asking for, but didn't have all the answers.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I would agree. I think you can always train skill. You can't train heart. And
Exactly.
you always had a great attitude. You never said no. You may go away and try to figure it out and come back and be like, this is the best I could do, but it was never that doesn't work, you know?
Mhm.
Um, so now you're experienced, right? I would say you have gray hair, but like me, you have no hair by choice for the record, both of us. Um,
And for the record, it was working with you that got me to no hair.
I did get you. That is a true statement. What does your inner voice tell you now? Like, like back then we were running and gunning. We were buying sandwiches for half of Houston for our meetings. And I mean, we were just scorching earth every day.
Mhm.
Um, what does your self talk look like today?
If you don't do the work, you're not going to be successful. And don't complain. I have vendors that ask me all the time, the real estate industry is slow. So why are you so busy? Why are you everywhere? Why are you all over social media? Why do I see you at every event? Why does everybody know who you are? And I tell them it's because when it's slow, then you have to do twice as much.
Yeah,
And
good
if you
point.
can't do that, then not only do you have a problem with your business being slow, you also have another problem, motivation problem, a mindset problem. You have, it's being slow is an excuse
Right.
because it happens to every industry all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's like we all know that fall, after fall comes winter, after
Mhm.
winter comes spring, after spring comes summer, and every year it happens. It's the same in any kind of business. All businesses are cyclical. Now, they could be 5 years, 20 years, 30 years, 5 months. I don't know, but all businesses have cycles. And so I think you've been around enough probably to know that just wait another year. It's going to cycle again, right? There's just like there's bad times. I remember during 2008, 2009, the housing industry was going off a cliff. It will never be the same. Now it's just a blip on a chart, and people are like, "Oh yeah, I heard there was some real estate challenges back in 2008."
Yeah.
It's just again just one of those things. Now today you're out here, you're fighting the fight.
Mhm.
What do you fight for now? Like, what are you doing for you?
What is my why?
Yeah.
Probably I'm getting closer to retirement.
Okay.
So I'm getting older, so I'm thinking about the future, and I'm also and when my girlfriend, she's been with me for 6 years now, and so my daughter's married and happy, and she's taken care of. So now, and when you get older, your priorities change, and things aren't as important as some of the things used to be, and so now it's just about um, getting up every day and doing the best I can do for who I need to do it for, and being happy with the results. Because I know in 7 to 10 years, it's all going to be over. I can retire if I want to.
Yeah. What would you say if it was a day measurement, a year measurement, or your career at Stewart Title? Like, what is success? Like, what would you say success is for you? Like, how would you define that?
Successfully growing the business for both of my offices while providing as much value for the real estate agents in this county as I can.
Hmm. Would you say that's your chapter? You think that's kind of your chapter right now of life?
That's what I'm known for. I am not an order taker. I don't sit on the phone and wait for the har.com to ding and there's another new listing and I call the agent that I've never met before and say, hey, you got a new listing, let's go to lunch, I want to close it. when I talk to agents or they come to me, it's because of my marketing background, of the classes I teach, of the education that I provide marketing to help agents grow their business where their broker doesn't help them. And in return, they want to help me grow my business by working with me, by sending me contracts. It's value. It's not, you know, I'm people say this all the time, or I say this all the time, but I'm not a salesperson. I'm a marketing person. And
Yeah.
so
And there's a difference.
there's a huge difference,
Huge
you know?
difference. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Um, so when you're working with agents, right? I mean, your business is predicated on the success of realtors, right?
exactly.
On a massive volume scale. Um, I don't want to say a magic wand, but if you could wave a wand to get them to do what you think they need to do, and this is sales, right? This is not just realtors in
Hmm.
general, but sales. What would you, if you could guide them, what would that be?
Guide them as far as their business goes.
Yeah, to be better, because their better
Well,
business helps you be better business.
yeah. Well, the thing that you probably already figured this out too when we were working together, but not all real estate agents believe they're running their own business. Okay. And because of that, there's a lot of agents out there that are not motivated to build a business, build a brand, build a marketing platform to generate leads and grow their business. A lot of them get told when they go to Champion School of Real Estate or wherever they get their real estate license education, get your license, you're a real estate agent, let everybody know, and the phone will start ringing. Well, that's just not reality. So, if there was one thing that I would want to help agents with is just understand the importance that they are no different than Nike, Apple Computers, Stewart Title, Walmart when it comes to sitting down and deciding what they're doing, how much they're going to charge, where they're going to be the expert, and how they're going to market it. And if they don't answer those four questions and implement those things, unless they get thousands of phone calls every day, they're not going to be successful.
You know, it's interesting you bring that up because I always think about this. There's, I don't know what, 30,000 agents in Houston, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and not even talking what they are nationally.
Mm-hmm.
They all have the same tools. They've got the online apps, they've got this, they've got that, they've got a phone, they've
Mm-hmm.
got business cards, they've got that, but they don't all make the same money.
Right.
They don't all have the same success.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's the variable? Is it that some treat it as a business and some don't? Is it that simple, or is there
It's
more
that
to it?
simple. It's that simple. It's that and motivation. So it's real. Some real estate agents are real estate agents for the wrong reasons. Okay, they're real estate agents because something else they tried didn't work, or they're real estate agents because someone told them become a real estate agent and you'll be rich real fast because you can sell $1 million house. You want to work for the rest of the year and things like that. But what they don't tell them is that you got to get the attention of the public in order to get that $1 million house as a client. It
Right.
just doesn't walk through the door. And that's the part of the business, of the real estate business, that they don't do and some don't want to do. I've literally been told by agents, everything you do is great, Kevin, but I don't have time for any of that. Well, if you don't have time for that, well, then you don't have time for your business.
Yeah.
And to some of them, that's okay. And for me, it doesn't bother me because I'm not trying to run their business, but you got to have goals. You have to have desire and motivation to do something. And if you don't, you just don't.
Yeah. If you could fix something, maybe at the inception of someone deciding to get their license, because they're in sales. I mean, they like, I always tell people, everyone in business, as you said, Nike, United Airlines, Frito-Lay, Chevrolet, it doesn't matter. You are all in the sales and marketing business,
Mhm.
especially a realtor. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
they have to be
the
both.
precipice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you go back and change on the application of somebody saying, I want to be a realtor? If you could be king for a day, what would you change?
I wouldn't change what the application says. I would add to it.
What's
And I
that?
would ask the questions like, have you run a business before? Do you have any idea what it takes to run a business? Things like that. Have you marketed before? Have you marketed a company? How do you feel about salespeople? Questions like that to get a better idea of, are they a good fit for a to be a real estate agent? Okay. Just for the same reason you guys hired me, my personality was a good fit for the role and the position you wanted to hire me for or hire someone for. I do the same thing for real estate agents. Because I can tell you right now, and if anybody that knows me sees this, I'm not going to apologize. 30,000 real estate agents in the city of Houston, 18,000 of them shouldn't be real estate agents.
Hmm.
They just shouldn't. Okay.
Because they don't treat it like a business.
They don't. They don't treat it like a business, and they don't care. They don't. It's just something that I can do, and if something falls in my lap, I'll do it. I'll close it. But if it doesn't, no big deal.
And so when you help them, and that's, I mean, obviously you do it to bring business to the title company, but I'm sure there's, the teacher in you. How, like, what are you helping them? Like, how are you helping them?
What I'm doing is I'm helping them twofold. Either they can choose. I can help them learn how to use a marketing concept to generate leads just by itself, like social media or pay per click or a CRM, or I can teach you how to create a marketing platform for your company from start to finish, just like you and I did. And I use the same model. We start off at the very beginning. What's the name of your company? Oh, it's Keller Williams. No, you don't own Keller Williams. That's not the name of your company. What's the name of your company? Well, I didn't know I needed to have one. Well, are you running a business? Yeah. Well, then name a company that doesn't have a company name. And then lights start going off in their head, and they're like, "Wait a minute! I didn't know I was going to be in for all this." And they have a realization they have to come to. Do you really want to be involved in all this? And some of them are, I'm all in. Some of them are, this was more than I wanted to bite off, and not really for me, and that's okay. But the ones that do want to do it and do want to learn, they get in, and I meet them every 2 weeks, and we put the puzzle pieces to the puzzle together. And 5, 6 months down the road, they're doing their thing. They're sending me contracts, and they're generating leads.
You personally sit with them every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks, I meet with at least 2 to 3 agents every single day, and I meet with them every 2 weeks.
Individually
in my office. Yes.
What is the biggest constraint they have in their business?
Well, I mean,
There's not a business, basically.
Well, yeah, that, and the other thing that I wish I could change about the real estate industry is that whether you're a successful top producing agent or you're not, this is a very expensive industry to get into. Being a real estate agent is not cheap because you have hard fees, you have broker fees, you have taxes, you have all kinds of things, you have CRM fees. You could be a real estate agent and not have a deal for 6 months, but every month you still have real estate bills.
Right.
So if I could change that, that's the one thing that I would change about this industry. And it's probably the biggest constraint because you know what I know, you know what I can teach agents. Most of what I teach them doesn't cost any money. It just takes time, effort, and consistency.
Sure.
So,
let me ask you this. If there's someone that's listening right now, whether that's young Kevin or it's the realtor who's thinking of getting into it, what is the truth that they need to hear?
That this is not everything that everybody says it is. This is work. This is a challenge. Okay. If you're not up for a challenge, if you don't like challenges, if you don't like learning new things, and if you don't like failing, then don't do this. Because like you and I used to talk about all the time, it's okay to fail, learn from it, and move forward. Right. But if some people, when they fail, it ruins their whole life. It ruins their day. Yeah. And believe me, not every real estate agent that's in Fort Bend County wants to work with me.
Right.
Okay. And it's not because they don't like me or anything. It's just because they might already have another title company they've been working with for 20 years or whatever it is. Or maybe the brokerage you're with has a title company in-house and they're not allowed to use me. I can't let those things bother me. You just got to go find somebody that does want to work with you.
Let me ask you this, and this comes into opportunity cost, right? I get that you want to help people and you
Mm-hmm.
want to help them do good, and ultimately, if they do good, your business will do good, your
Mm-hmm.
company. Um, but what about the producers that are already making money? Is it better to put gasoline on their fire? Because if they're already doing a lot of business, they've already figured it out and have the recipe, as opposed to you're still trying to figure out how to start a fire in this camp.
Mm-hmm.
What's your
Yes.
thoughts on that? I mean, you only have so many hours in the day, so
Right.
why do you choose to spend your time here? And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just curious.
Well, because I can, you're right. A top producer, someone that's been around for a while that does 5, 10 transactions a month, has a team, they have the system down. They have a system that works for them. What I can help them with is maybe making that system more efficient or easier or clearer. It's not that I'm going to necessarily teach them something new that they don't already know or maybe haven't done before, but maybe I can give them some advice on what they're doing, the way they're doing it, to tweak it and make it easier and more efficient. Because you're right, working with an agent that doesn't have a system and is not successful yet is more work, more rewarding for the future. But someone that doesn't necessarily need my help could always also learn something from me. I tell people, as much as people think that I do a great job at what I do, and Kevin's a marketing guy, there are still other marketing people out there that I can learn stuff from.
Sure. Well, we
You
all
know,
can, right?
yeah,
All of us we're in an ever learning evolution, right?
yeah.
So as we kind of close out the show, give me your thoughts on 2026. Give me your predictions.
For real estate,
Yeah.
for me and my two offices, it's going to be excellent. I'm
Not
already
you, not you. Give me Houston. What do you see in Houston?
Houston. Houston's going to be it's going to be very good. It's going to be better than last year. It's already better than last year. The interest rates are going to stay where they're at. Inventory is going to increase. So there's going to be plenty to buy. It's going to be a buyer's market. It's going to be a buyer's market all year. And unlike last year, last summer, it died in real estate. This year, it's the summer. It's going to be real busy.
Last question. If there's an agent or an entrepreneur or someone watching this and they could take one action today, just like move the needle just a little bit, what would that be?
Whatever it is that they decide to do, it doesn't matter what it is. Do it consistently, all the time, and don't stop doing it.
I
Because
like that.
when you stop, that's when everything stops. That's when you fail. That's when you have to keep doing it. Agents ask me all the time, "What's the secret to my success?" And I tell them the exact same thing: consistency.
Consistency.
I mean, think about it. When you and I were working together, what did we do? We did everything all the time, and we never stopped.
Never stop.
Same thing.
Love it. I love it. All right. Well, Kevin, thanks for being on today. Appreciate it. As always, it's great to see you, and congratulations on an awesome award. We'll have to get together and do a proper celebration with
I
it.
hope so.
Absolutely. And for those of you watching, I want to thank you for another great episode with High Stakes with Steve Rozenberg. On behalf of Kevin Davidson, Stuart Title, and myself, you guys have a great week, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.